Hi, it's Shelley once again here in the AGK VIP member vault to talk to you about important words. Today I'm going to be talking about the word and or words warm waters. We will talk more about that in just a moment. All right. So we have quotes from Forrest Fenn regarding the word waters and warm waters. First, we have in the poem, Begin It Where Warm Waters Halt. The thrill of the chase, page 102. The grass sees, and the trees and rushing waters of the spring creek also see. So, waters of the spring creek. Here is just one creek, but he's just talking about the water contained within the creek. And they say that when you go to touch the water in a river or a creek, running water, you can't touch the same water twice. So this could be in his way how he is expressing that the water is ever changing as it flows. The waters of the spring creek. From The Thrill of the Chase, page 125. This is in Flywater, and he talks a lot about the waters, a lot, in Flywater, a lot. So page 125. These are all several quotes along all the one page of 125. Those great places, which were personal secrets to me then, are now busy with the flourish of fishermen and women who cast a midge or floating caddis upon those same waters, never knowing I had been there or even caring yes or no. But I know that as the seasons slowly change and the leaves of life fall and are reborn anew, so do the names of those who wade those waters and chalk the memories once again, this time for themselves. How special those hours were spent watching the waters deepen into cobalt as the flow slowly bent around a bank. Many others who have loved those waters before and after me understand that catching fish is not what it's about. Now, if you've read Flywater, looked through it, you'll see, of course, they use the term waters a lot when they're talking about all the places they've gone fishing. But it can be used interchangeably between one water or many waters. So lots of lakes and rivers, or one lake, river, or creek. So the S is basically indiscriminate. It can be used, sometimes you can use it, sometimes you don't have to. It's up to you. It's just a whatever kind of a thing between water and waters in this case. From March 4th, 2013, As It Happens, Santa Fe Treasure Hunt, CBC Radio. And you have to know where warm waters halt. And he's referring to how you have to find the treasure. You have to know where warm waters halt. That's sort of a context telling us that where means where. It's a place you have to know. April 3rd, 2013, New Zealand radio interview. The first clue in the poem is begin it where warm waters halt. That's the first clue. If you can't figure that clue out, you don't have anything. So we really do need to focus on where warm waters halt, what it means, or we don't have anything. So that's why I think so many of us believe that the first clue is the most important clue, because if you don't have that, you don't have anything. You can't begin it anywhere else, only where warm waters halt. Moving on down here, let's see. $3 million treasure still waiting to be found for 11/2013, updated December 6th, 2017 by Margie Goldsmith. This is posted in HuffPost. Now, what if I wanted to secret a can of Dr. Pepper under a rock in the cooling waters of a rivulet somewhere in my allotted public acreage? Again, he's using waters with an S, but it's one stream. In fact, it's one rivulet of a stream. It's a very small amount there. May 2014, we have Dale Neitzel's blog, Scrapbook 68. Many searchers have thought that warm waters halt at a dam because water being released through flues near the bottom of the dam is much colder than water on the surface of the lake. I have discussed around that subject with several people in the last few days and am concerned that not all searchers are aware of what has been said. So to level the playing field to give everyone an equal chance, I will say now that where warm waters halt is not related to any dam. This tells us a couple of things. Warm waters halt. And then he talks about water being released through flues near the bottom of the dam is much colder than water on the surface of the lake. So when he's talking about the temperature of the water, he uses the word water. Isn't that interesting? The water released through the flues near the bottom is much colder than the water on the surface of the lake. This water is colder than that water. It doesn't say waters with an S there. But when he's talking about the warm waters halt, that's when he uses waters with an S. And then the other thing that I find interesting is that when he tells somebody something that he considers to be a very important hint or clue sort of a thing, he makes sure that everybody hears about it by putting up on Dale's blog or in Mysterious Writings or somewhere where everybody can hear it, discuss it, see it in writing, and know that he said it. So I find that to be important to know. Next we have from Mysterious Writings, July 2nd, 2014. If you are sure about the location of Home of Brown, why are you concerned about where warm waters halt? But to answer your question, sure, you could, and a few searchers might throw in some gas money for a percentage of the take. Good luck. Of course, the first sentence is the important part. If you're sure about the location of Home of Brown, why are you concerned about where warm waters halt? So if you already have Home of Brown, you already know where warm waters halt, if you have the right one. Next, we move to August 12th, 2014, in Mysterious Writings. Let's see. There are a few words in the poem that are not useful in finding the treasure, Phil, but it is risky to discount any of them. You oversimplify the clues. I love that because he says you oversimplify the clues, and that's probably the first time I've heard him say that. Most of the time he's telling people, you're messing with my poem, you're overcomplicating things, and you're manufacturing things, and don't mess with my poem. But here he says, you oversimplify the clues. There are many places in the Rocky Mountains where warm waters halt, and nearly all of them are north of Santa Fe. Look at the big picture. There are no shortcuts. There are many places in the Rocky Mountains where warm waters halt. Okay, so now we know that. So how do we know when we have the correct warm waters, right? Maybe he'll tell us more. Moving on to December 4th, 2014. Mysterious Writings. Excuse me. My alligators were not good pets, but they were good for business because everyone likes to look at them. I am reminded of a poem from Alice in Wonderland. Forrest likes to memorize and use poems when he's speaking, and this one was actually written, but he's done it both ways. I've seen him also speak this in interviews. And here's the poem. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly he spreads his claws and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws. So, waters of the Nile. Again, it's one source of water, but they're calling it waters. And he pulls this out and shares it with us, perhaps to reiterate how he thinks of the word waters. what context is, what the definition is. So we want to think about that, because he does have several poems in his book, along with the Thrill of the Chase poem, Where the Gold is Hidden. And each one of those contains words that are also used in his poem. So we want to take a close look at those poems that he keeps bringing up. July 5th, 2016, in the New York Times, On the Hunt, Where Warm Waters Halt, for a $2 million treasure. Interview with Forrest Fenn, audio provided by Cynthia Meacham on February 3rd of this year, 2020. This is on YouTube. Cynthia posted this on February 3rd. And I transcribed Forrest Fenn's words. And Forrest says to the reporter, "Did you ask her to show you the warm water?" And he's referring to Cynthia. He's asking the reporter if she asked Cynthia to show her the warm water. "Did you ask her to show you the warm water?" The reporter replies, "No, I didn't touch the water." Fenn goes on, "See there? She wanted to find the blaze, so she manufactured a place where the warm waters halt. There's no warm water under that bridge. I promise you." The bridge they're talking about is the Condillo Bridge on the Santa Cruz River. "There's no warm water under that bridge, I promise you. But she banked it in. You see how that works? I could take you out in my yard and show you 50 blazes, but it's not going to help you find that treasure because you don't know where warm water halts. You cannot back it in. It doesn't work like that." The reporter asks, "But what if you think that you found where the warm waters halt?" Fenn responds, "Therein lies the puzzle." Again, confirming again that the most important clue, the thing that solves everything for us, is getting the correct warm waters halt. Then Cynthia put up another video on February 11th of this year, 2020, and it's on YouTube, and at minute 5:30, Forrest Fenn says, "Cynthia messed with my poem. She didn't go to... She manufactured where warm water halts. It doesn't exist. There's no warm water there under that bridge. She manufactured that because she wanted to make room for her blaze." Once again, if you do not have the correct where warm waters halt, you will not find the correct home of brown or the correct blaze. Cynthia messed with my poem. She didn't go to... What was he going to say there? She didn't go to where warm waters halt. She didn't go to Wyoming, West Yellowstone, where? She didn't go to where she needed to be. She manufactured where warm water halts. It doesn't exist. What does that mean? It doesn't exist. Why did he say that? There's no warm water there under that bridge. There's definitely a bridge. The water is shallow. What makes it not warm? What makes it not the warm water? What makes it not warm water at all? There's no warm water there under that bridge. What does that mean? She manufactured that because she wanted to make room for her blaze. Is he just only telling us that's the wrong place to start? Or is he telling us more there? And if so, what is he telling us? There's no warm water there under that bridge. It doesn't exist. Why doesn't it exist? Is warm water not water? Well, what do you think? I have a feeling that he's trying to tell us something, but because we have to sort through so much information, so many things that Forrest Fenn has said, Forrest Fenn has written, and other people have said about what Forrest Fenn has said, there's so much sorting to do now that there's too much information. We have an information overload. So that's why I'm really particularly trying to focus only on what Forrest Fenn has said or written, and things that can be verified that he said or wrote. And when we do that, we can eliminate all of the things that are clouding our judgment. So when Forrest Fenn uses the words warm waters, begin at where warm waters halt, the only thing we have to go on is the other times that he's said the word waters. The only other times he's said waters or warm waters has been when he's either repeating that line from the poem, begin at where warm waters halt, start where warm waters halt, and the first clue is where warm waters halt. This is most of what we hear from him, except for in the book where he talks about rushing waters of the spring creek, those who wade in the waters, the same waters, the waters deepen into cobalt, have loved those waters, and he's talking about Rio water, a river, a creek, a lake. Pour the waters of the Nile, a river, right? Did you ask her to show you the warm water? There's no warm water under that bridge. That's where I start to wonder about the metaphor of warm water. If there's no warm water under that bridge, then where is warm water? Thanks for watching today, and I will see you again in the member vault. And for Gypsy's Kiss, I'm Shelley Carney.